Hello everyone, I am Rusha Mukherjee, a student of Sundarat Law College and presently interning with Lexis& Company. Today I am going to discuss about the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection Act 2015. This act was actually made to consolidate any laws that were there for the children, specifically who are in conflict with law and who are in need of care and protection, by catering to their basic needs through proper care, protection, development, treatment, social reintegration, and by actually adopting a child friendly approach in the adjudication and disposal of matter in the best of the children, and for their rehabilitation through the processes provided and the institution of the bodies established hereinafter, and for matters connected therein for incidents thereto. Actually, we know that the children are the vulnerable part of the society. They are always prone to any kind of problems. They cannot protect themselves or cannot take the right decisions. So they cannot be treated in the same way as an adult. And hence, the Juvenile Justice Act actually tries to make an child friendly approach towards them. If we talk about that, we have to talk that it is actually called the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection Act of 2015, and it extends to the entire country except Jammu and Kashmir, and it came into force by an official gazette given by the central government. It has given the various definitions in its part. But if we have to talk about the adoption under this act, it will become the subject matter of Chapter 8 of the Juvenile Justice Act 2015. Now, adoption shall be resorted here for ensuring right to family for the orphan, abandoned and surrendered children. Now, each and every surrendered or orphan or abandoned children has a right to have a family as per the provisions. The rules here have been mentioned in this chapter. Adoption of a child from one relative by another relative, irrespective of their religion, caste, creed, has to be made as per the provisions of the Juvenile Justice Act and the adoption regulations framed by the authority. Nothing will apply for the adoption of children made under the provisions of the Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act. That is, if some adoption is made under the Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act, they will not come under the purview of Juvenile Justice Act. All inter-country adoptions shall be done as per this act and not by any other act. Any person who will take or send away a child to a foreign country or takes part in any arrangement for transferring the care of the custody of a child to anybody outside the country without a valid order of the court, that is, if you do it on your own and you don't have a valid order from the court, then it shall be punishable as per section 80 of the Juvenile Justice Act 2015. Taking that in mind, there has to be certain eligibility of the adoptive parents. The parents who can adopt, each and everybody cannot adopt actually. The adoptive parents shall have to be fit, financially sound, and mentally alert and highly motivated for giving a good upbringing to them. So, in this society, we know each and everything demands a lot of money. So, being physically fit, financially stable, and mentally alert is very important for bringing up a child who is under the requirement of care and protection or is in conflict with law. In case of a couple, the conflict of both the spouses is required. We can see the similar provision in the Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act even. Even if a single parent or person tries to adopt subject to the fulfillment of the criteria and in accordance with the provisions of this authority, a single male is not eligible to adopt a girl child. Procedure has been given under section 58, whereas the inter-country procedures have been given in section 59. All the things here is given till section section 68, which talks about the Central Adoption Resource Authority, whereas we see the section 67 talks about the State Adoption Resource Agency. This act is actually done for the betterment of the child, and the child should in any way not suffer for his mistakes in his juvenile, and he has to be brought into the mainstream society, because we have to remember that childs are the pillar of the society, and hence they cannot be made the victims in any way. And whoever is actually willing, either a relative or for an inter-country adoption, has to take the responsibility of the well-being of the child. That's all for today. Thank you and bye bye.